dropping. There was no inkling. There was no mention that a trailer was going to drop this week. And normally they're like, they'll kind of set it up where it's going to drop this time, this day.
Well, and usually isn't it like predictable? I guess what's going on today that would warrant that?
Nothing. So what are we talking about? Avengers Endgame. Obviously, everyone's seen it already. I think last time I checked their Facebook, it was like 3 million views.
So not everybody.
Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. Well, it was early because I checked it last time at like 8 a.m. So it's been a couple hours. It's probably up to like 10 plus at this point. But Avengers Endgame dropped. What I really, really hope is the final trailer.
Me too.
This is it. I don't want to see another frame of this movie going into
But
it.
that's not how it is.
I do. But let's unpack this trailer, and then we'll talk about if we think there's going to be any more or what we expect to see further. This trailer didn't have a lot. It was really very similar to the first, where it's a lot of voiceover stuff.
Yep.
I think there's a couple red herrings in there. I don't know who says it. Maybe it's Peggy Carter, but they talk about like having to start over. You know what I mean? I think it was like you have to like reset, which is kind of like everyone thinks it's going to reset the whole MCU. I don't think it's going to be that drastic, but I think they want people to think it's going to be that drastic. Like everything's going to be reset from here.
Well, and from what I understand, and spoiler, I haven't seen Captain Marvel yet, but everyone... So from what I've heard from people...
Well, we'll get into Captain Marvel.
Right. But ultimately, it leads into my next point with the trailer. It sounds like this is ultimately the second... this is Captain America. Whereas I feel like Black Panther was sort of the Iron Man of this next phase. And I feel like...
Yeah. The way they're setting that up, for sure.
So you have your Iron Man character, which was... I would
the
argue vastly more
Wakanda,
more arguably a more accepted movie, and then your Captain America, which was good-ish.
Well, first Avenger, and I think you're really getting towards more of the Captain Marvel discussion. Away from the Avengers Endgame trailer discussion.
But ultimately, the point is to your, the reset. I would argue, I think we are sort of resetting, but not like...
Yeah, it's not going to be a full wipe clean reset.
Right.
It's going to be a minor adjustment. That's exactly what I'm saying.
A new main 4 or 5
new
whatever
Avengers.
heroes.
It'll be the new Avengers going forward, right? That's maybe what they'll even call the next movie, is the new Avengers. Just to kind of let people know that this is
Trademark
like the new Avengers.
Before Disney.
I don't think I can. I think they already own the trademark on that. I think anything Avengers they probably already own and somehow have acquired throughout the years. But so this trailer, it really, like I said, opens with montages from Tony, from Cap, and it just talks about them, not giving up on finding the people or fixing what happened. And then you see Thor, you see Rocket, you pretty much, the only people you see that are dead are the people who are already shown disappearing. Like they showed Falcon, Scarlet Witch, I think part of Black Panther's disappearance. So they showed a few people disappearing. But
they didn't hit the biggest despair one, though.
Well, it really looks like we're getting the OG like Avengers, right? You're getting Cap, because when they're in the white suits at the end walking towards whatever they're walking towards, and they're all in like white, almost Iron Man 1 suits. They're like real thin armor.
Right.
But you got Cap. The only one who's not an OG is Nebula, because you got Cap, Scarlet Witch, or Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow.
Yeah.
You got Hawkeye, Iron Man, Don Cheadle's War Machine. Thor will definitely be there. Captain Marvel will be the other one who's not like an OG character. And then Rocket, because Rocket should be there too. Yeah. It's really interesting, like, how they're showing these trailers that aren't giving away anything, but still give away just these little tiny hints. They showed Iron Man in the suits with everybody, so that shows that him and Nebula make it out of space. So everyone was thinking he was going to die in space. It still doesn't disprove the Captain Marvel saves him in space theory, which would be interesting. And then that piece at the end with Thor, when he calls Stormbreaker and it whizzes past Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is in the trailer. She's just in her regular clothes. But her and Chris Hemsworth are kind of standing face to face, just kind of like staring at each other. And he puts out his hand. Stormbreaker comes whizzing by. She doesn't even flinch. Makes kind of a smirk, which is perfect for her character. And he's like, I like this one, or something like that. And they're all kind of standing around. They didn't show Ruffalo in the white suit.
Yeah, I think you're
Ruffalo wasn't in there because I think at that point he's Hulk.
right. Okay.
So they don't want to show that piece. You know what I mean? They're keeping a lot close
Yep.
to the vest and just giving you just enough to be like,
This is a trailer.
well, and try to piece it together. Like that's
Right.
what everyone's gonna sit and do on the internet. That's what we're doing right here. You know, that's the fun of it, right? Is like
Yeah.
you get these little hints and then you're trying to piece it together and then you see it and it's honestly nothing like you expected, or it's very
and-
much akin to what you expected.
Well, especially because they know that's kind of our goal. Sometimes they'll throw little bits in.
That's why I
to
think the
trick
red
you.
herring is the like sometimes, you know, you gotta like start over.
Right.
And it's like, I don't think we're fully starting over. You know what I mean? I think this is a end of one chapter, start of a new chapter. You know, especially for what happened with Captain Marvel, which you got any more thoughts on Endgame?
Good trailer.
Good trailer, great trailer. I had goosebumps watching it. I mean, it really feels like the end of this arc, right? Like if this was an anime or if this was a comic book, this is the end of the arc. And being with it since the beginning till now has just been such a. This is something I always wanted when I was a little kid, and we didn't even have like cartoons at that point.
Right.